Hello and welcome to the Healthy Mind, Healthy Weight online training. I'm Lily Hills and I'm the creator of the program, which I believe to be one of the most powerful trainings in the world to overcome overeating. Essentially, I created what I most wanted when I was struggling with about 65 pounds of extra weight and unable to stop eating even though I wanted to, more than I wanted to win the lottery. What I basically wanted was a program that would teach me how to lose weight without dieting and basically would be like a friend and a coach and mentor there for me 24 hours a day and 7 days a week when I didn't feel like I could manage my own emotional appetites. So what I most wanted is what most people want when they're struggling around overeating. And now you have it. At the touch of your fingertips, you're going to have support in every imaginable forum to help you to learn the skill sets to start to learn to eat in harmony with your physical appetites versus your emotional appetites. Now, I've said before in other trainings, there is no magic pill to overcoming overeating, other than giving up dieting, which you've learned in the past from the video series, that diets create an unnatural obsession with food and make you more likely to overeat. So in this training, you're going to be learning how to eat in harmony with your physical appetites, rather than because you're bored, or overwhelmed, or stressed, or depressed, or eating just as a form of entertainment. So I want you to be really patient with your process, because training the mind is like training a wild horse. You are going to fall off the saddle, and the whole key is to jump back on. And in this case, jumping back on just means to listening to the trainings over and over and over again until you know them by heart. It's like memorizing the words to a song. You hear it the first time and you love it, but you have to hear it a bunch of times before it sinks in and you can sing it by heart. That's how this program works. So I've set it up so that it's really easy to do, so that it's not something that feels like a burden, but rather something you're going to start to look forward to every single day, because you know the more you do it, the more you invest in studying the information in here and listening to the audio programs and watching the videos, the faster you're going to be able to start moving towards your healthiest and most natural weight without dieting. You're also going to be learning in the training how to move beyond the voice in your head that says, this isn't working for me. You know, the truth is, if you stay committed to anything, if you stay committed to learning how to play the piano, it may take a while to get good at it, but it's that commitment that makes it work. And again, it's the same thing with this program. You're going to want to bombard your mind with a new way of thinking around food and your body, so you can be moving towards your natural weight pleasurably, and so that it's permanent as opposed to a temporary weight loss. So let's get started. On the left-hand side of the page, you're going to see a link for a free download of the Body Love Manual, how to love the body you have as you create the body you want. You want to start reading that if you hadn't read it already, in combination with listening to the audio programs and watching the videos and using the materials on the site. Because again, the more you're reading it and the more you're listening to the program, the more you are absorbing the information, the easier this process is going to be. And you want to make it as easy on yourself as possible. If you haven't read the Body Love Manual already, what you'll want to do is go immediately to Module 5 on the program. We're going to be going through step by step the different parts of this program, so it becomes really easy for you to know where to go when you're struggling in any area. So if you look on the left-hand side, you'll see at the very top on the left, coursework. So if you hit that button, it's going to take you to a page that's going to walk you through 11 different classes, and each of these classes addresses some part of the components to developing a healthier relationship with your body, to quieting the voice in your head that's making you reach for food you're not physically hungry for, and then beating up on you for it afterwards. So each of these programs, they vary from anywhere from 20 minutes to 2 hours and 15 minutes. So what I've done is I've broken it down into 20-minute segments, and what I recommend is listen to 20 minutes, at least 20 minutes every single day, because again, then you're going to have your relationship with your body and yourself at the forefront, on the dashboard of your priorities, rather than a back seat, where it's far more likely to get ignored. So 20 minutes a day, and on the days where you have more time, feel free to listen to more. You can't listen to these programs too many times. There are going to be some that come really easy to you, and you're not going to feel like you need to listen to them again. And there are some that the more that you repeat, the more, again, they sink into your psyche and make it easier to transform your behavior around your body and food and stress. So the coursework, go through it. Each one of the programs is individually tailored to specific issues related to weight loss. And you're going to want to pay specific attention to the chapter on why diets don't work, because you really want to develop that deep understanding of how diets lead to an unnatural obsession with food and make you more likely to binge eat, and they reduce your metabolism. So that training is really, really powerful and an important one to return to again and again. There's segments on how to develop a better relationship with your body, how to eat in harmony with your body for permanent and pleasurable weight loss, how to jumpstart your metabolism, what are some of the power sleeping tools that you can use to get a better night's sleep so that you also bump up your metabolism. It's the full curriculum, so start listening as soon as possible. The next section of the program is the binge busting section. And in the binge busting section, there are 4 different audio programs. And this is basically what I wanted when I was struggling around compulsivity around food. There was no one there to talk me out of overeating. So that's part of the reason I just go right to the refrigerator and start eating food I wasn't hungry for. So with the binge busting section, if you want to eat and you're not physically hungry, what you're going to want to do is hit one of these trainings. It will be my voice walking you through and beyond that urge to eat food you're not physically hungry for. Because this program is all about eating in harmony with, again, with your body. There will be times when your mind's going to tell you to eat. So this is basically like having a voice of reason right there in the room to help you to overcome overeating. Because it'll get you to stop for a minute and relax and slow down and determine what is making you stressed, first of all, and how you can use your body to start to calm that feeling of overwhelm that's making you involuntarily reach for food. Now let's say that there's one of those days where you listen to one of the programs and it can't talk you out of eating, even though you're not hungry. Program number 4 is basically called a conscious meal, and that's my voice guiding you through the meal. If you're going to choose to eat, even if you're not hungry, it's my voice guiding you through the meal, having lunch or dinner with you, and essentially supporting you in stopping sooner rather than later. So you know how a binge can start and can spiral out of control. Well, with this program, hopefully about a few bites in, you'll be hearing that voice of reason, you'll start to tune into your body, you'll recognize I'm not physically hungry right now, you'll be able to wait until you're physically hungry to eat again. So eating in harmony with your body means starting to eat when you're physically hungry and stopping when you're satisfied. And this program is going to support you in doing exactly that. Section 3 is the power tools section. And this is a section that you're going to want to return to again and again. In fact, any of the handouts in this part of the program, I recommend printing them out right away so you have them for easy access. So we'll go through those one by one so you can know exactly what's in there, so you can get familiar with the information, making it easier to access anytime, day or night. So at the top of the Power Tools section, there is a goal sheet. And this goal sheet basically outlines the things that you're going to want to do every single day that are going to allow you to reach your natural and ideal weight at the optimum pace. So for example, on the goal sheet would be breathing 3 times before putting anything in your mouth to make sure you're physically hungry before you eat. Drinking 6 to 8 glasses of water a day. So the good news is, as you're checking these off, you're starting to realize that you're changing patterns. Patterns are the most challenging thing for any human being to try and change. But at the end of the day, the voice in your head may say, gosh, I didn't do everything on the check sheet. But you'll get to see the things that you did do, which creates this internal state of, I'm moving forward, I'm progressing. And when you have that feeling, it starts to build momentum, so you get excited to do even a little bit better every single day. That's the key here. This isn't about being 100% better overnight. This is about making tiny shifts every single day that lead to permanent change. So you're definitely going to want to use the goal sheet. Underneath the goal sheet, you're going to see a 30-day jumpstart program. And with this 30-day jumpstart program, if you learn the keys to eating in alliance with your body and you're having a difficult time sticking with them, what you're going to want to do is start this 30-day jumpstart program, because it's a very gradual escalation in terms of change in behavior. So it'll start out with maybe 2 glasses of water a day as opposed to 6. But again, it's a momentum builder. And if you're experiencing success early on, with every day, your confidence in your ability to transform your relationship with food and to do what it is you need to do in order to transcend that overeating urge, you're going to feel stronger and stronger every single day. So if you're struggling, do the 30-day Jumpstart program. And if you find that you've fallen off for a week or something like that, go back to the 30-day Jumpstart program. You may be way beyond the first day, which is kind of the beginner stage, but you're going to feel great checking it off and moving back into that stage of, I'm getting this done. Little by little, I'm transforming my thoughts, I'm mastering my mind, which will allow me to master my weight. So underneath the 30-day Jumpstart program are food logs. So So this program is based in large part on research from the top obesity experts in the world. And one of the things that has shown time and time again to make a difference in your ability to stay connected to your physical appetites versus emotional appetites are food logs. And you may be thinking, God, not another food log. That just sounds so restricting. That sounds so frustrating. And I understand that. However, again, this is one of those tools that helps to keep your relationship with your body and food on the dashboard of your priority list. So try out the food logs and see if it makes a difference. Because again, it's kind of like when we were kids, we were told to eat our vegetables, it would make us stronger. It may not sound appealing, but once you get into the habit of it, it's like anything else. It's like riding a bike. It gets easier and easier. So definitely use the food logs. Underneath the food logs are pre and post binge transcending sheets. So let's say that you're having a moment where you don't have access to the online program. It is accessible from your iPhone as well as your computer. But let's say you don't have access to it in that moment. There is a binge transcending instructional sheet in there. And essentially what you're going to be doing is reading this binge sheet, and you're going to be looking through the dialogue that you're going to want to have with yourself, so that you're training yourself to overcome overeating. So essentially it's going to be having you talk out loud in a mirror if you want to, or out into the open sky. But basically it teaches you how to talk yourself out of eating when you're not physically hungry. Again, when you're physically hungry, that's the time when you're supposed to eat. But if you're not hungry, this is going to give you the dialogue to learn how to transcend that urge on your own over time. So it's a very important part of the program. The sheet right underneath that is the post-binge transcending sheet. So all of us have days where we eat more than we're physically hungry for, or we have days where we feel like we've binged, and then that monkey mind starts taking over and makes us feel like, oh my God, I failed, I've got to go back to dieting, this isn't working. This post-binge transcending sheet essentially is going to give you the steps to take to get back on track as quickly as possible. So as long as you do everything on this sheet, it sets you up for a state of mind where you recognize after one meal or one day being off track, you're back on track. Because without it, sometimes we'll go 2 or 3 days or 2 or 3 weeks or 2 or 3 months in that binge eating cycle or that overeating cycle, because there's nothing that makes us feel like, right, I'm back on track right now. So it's got very specific instructions as to what to do to get back on track. That's a very powerful handout, and you're absolutely going to want to download that. Underneath that part of the program are your power tools section. That's the video section, and that's going to be, I'm going to be adding to that year after year to make sure that it's got every possible component of transcending the urge to overeat. So it's got how to train that monkey mind that gets you to feel stressed and upset. It's got kitchen trainings, how to make sure that you are set up if you're traveling and you're feeling like you're not going to be able to eat in alliance with your body. It's got trainings in how to set up spaces in your home that will allow you to go to that space when you're feeling like overeating but you're not physically hungry, so that you feel like you've got a safe space, a place to turn to immediately that helps to break that habit. Again, this is about interrupting those patterns that have been in place for a long period of time. So this video series is going to be really powerful to help you understand the nature of your mind on a more powerful level, so that you can shut it down if it's not speaking to you in a tone of voice that's kind and cool and understanding and proactive, moving you towards what you want versus what you don't want. Underneath the video section series, there's another handout, and that one's on what to do if you're going to a party or a special event or it's holidays. Oftentimes that's the period of time when people say that they have the hardest time not overeating. So this is a strategy sheet before you go home to a family event or out to a celebratory event, so that you can go to the party, have fun, eat food you love, but not feel like you overate. So you come home feeling, instead of like, I had a great time at the party, I ate delicious foods, and I came home feeling wonderful. That's the feeling I want you to have. So this party strategy sheet or holiday strategy sheet is going to be really helpful in terms of making that transition. And then the final handout on that sheet are postures and practices for peace. Because oftentimes when we're feeling stressed, what we end up doing, and I know from my own personal experience, is we try and power through those experiences and try and keep working even though we're stressed. So these are some postures, some physical postures that you can get into that will allow your mind to calm down, that will allow your biology to calm down, that excess cortisol that rushes through your bloodstream when you're feeling upset or overwhelmed. These postures are going to calm that physiology down so that you can then make a more conscious choice as to whether or not to eat. So again, that power tools section, I called it power tools for a reason. These are some really powerful tools that are going to allow you to get stronger in your relationship, not only with your body and yourself, but with food in general. So the last column on the left-hand side that you're going to want to be aware of is the forum, and that's where I post different suggestions for people that are struggling around different areas of the program. That's where you can ask me any question that you want, that you're struggling around and you want just a little bit more clarity. So it's kind of like it's an area for all of us to hang out together, because anyone who's going through a process of trying to overcome overeating, one of the keys to doing so is to do it with other people. All the obesity research shows that it really is the companionship that makes this job a little easier. So you've got the program as part of your companionship, but also I'd like to invite you to get a friend to do the program with you, because it's going to make it easier if you guys are talking about it together as a team and strategizing, and this is one of my weak spots, and listen to that section again, and this is really helpful. That whole dynamic is going to make this much easier. So give that a try as well. Try and partner up with someone around the program. And then I'd like to draw attention to, across the top bar of the program, you're going to see news and notes from Lily. Those are also articles that I've written on different ways to, again, be the best version of yourself, have as much joy as possible, transcend that ego, monkey mind, untamed mind that's making you feel more stressed and depressed and less confident than you need to be. So that's another amazing resource that the program offers. So that's about it for the program. Again, feel free to email me or let me know if you have any questions. I would love to support you in moving beyond this at the perfect pace for you. If you feel excited about the program, that's fantastic news, because the truth is you should be excited. This is a program that took me from where I was, stressed around my weight, unable to stop overeating, dealing with, again, compulsion every single day, to where I am now, which is free in my relationship with my body and food, and feeling more joyful at 50 than ever before. And I know that's available for you as well. For those of you that are feeling a little nervous and worried, don't worry about that. That's part of the nature of the mind. You're going to learn to ignore that part of your mind that's holding you back from your dreams and visions. So it's okay if you're nervous, just start listening. I can guarantee you that the more you listen, the more confident you're going to feel, the more you're going to recognize that this is definitely the way to go. I love eating now more than ever before, and that's part of the reason I'm excited about this program, because food should be pleasurable, and this program is going to teach you how to make food a wonderful joy in your life rather than something that you feel guilty around. The truth is, at the very beginning, you're going to be making some mistakes. So don't worry about that. That's part of the process. Just keep, like we talked about earlier, get back on that horse. And like learning how to play the piano, it takes about 20 hours before you can even maybe play a song relatively well. So after 20 hours of listening to the program, you're going to start to see little changes. You're going to start to see that you're thinking differently. You're going to start to see that your behavior around food is different. So really train as much as you can. The more you train early on, the easier this process is going to be. So thank you again for investing in the program and investing in yourself. My vision for you is that you have a lifetime of freedom around food and worries around your weight, so that you can go out into the world as the happiest, healthiest, most joyous version of yourself.